Let me show you what I did yesterday. With all my optimism, I go into Lowe's only to find that the bathroom is closed and I always have to use the bathroom when I get somewhere, so I had to go next door to Walmart just to use the bathroom. All right, let's try that again. Nobody expects to go into Lowe's and there's no bathroom. So I'm going to memorize. I want a 1-inch paintbrush. Definitely want 2 blinds for the bathrooms. And I want the rattan. I never know how to say that. R-A-T-T-A-N. And for my coastal vibe, because I have blades on the blinds that are broken. So that's what really pushed me to do this. I might look at Rubbermaids. It depends. My back is really hurting, so I don't really want to walk on those floors longer than I have to. So, but it's really hot out, upper 80s. But for some reason, it feels so good on my skin right now. I'm loving it. It's like a little bit of heat therapy. This was the moment where I was deciding, do I really want a carriage? But in the end, yes, I did really want a carriage to carry my blinds, of course. First of all, they did not have the blinds that I was looking for, so I was kind of scanning what they did have. I ended up calling my husband from the store and saying, am I wrong? Do we not have 44-inch wide windows? Look how it goes from 39 to 47. Even if I did want just the traditional white blades again, and then I couldn't believe the prices. I felt like the prices were really high. I usually buy very inexpensive blinds, but that one went from 30 to 47 inches. In the end, I decided to get my paintbrush and I decided to get the paint tape and just call it a day, and I would just look online instead. That could have gone better. I'm like, okay, Karen, you kind of wanted to get out of the house. You wanted to take a drive. You wanted to be by yourself. You got to do all those things. And you got yourself a 1-inch paintbrush and some paint tape. So now I'm going to look online when I get home for what I'm actually looking for, which they did not have at Lowe's. And even if they did, it jumps from like 37 inches to 48 inches. I wanted 44. I realized you could get them cut. I just wasn't going to stand on those floors. So I got video and pictures of what I would want if I had to get them here so that I could show Robin and he could get it. Like, he'll be out near a Lowe's Thursday night. So winner. Oh my. It's okay, guys. Really, it is. It's a beautiful day. I'm really trying to get better at my old habits that I have just kind of let go. So I'm going to get the bed cleaned up before I do anything else. I've got a huge laundry list of things I want to do. I know I will never get them all done, but that spot right there is really, you see the spot. It's really bugging me. I would like to get some patching done. So I have this list here. Clean off the dining room table, move the base shelf in the basement, the one I got everything off of, tidy my husband's tool area. This is more than I can do in a day. That's okay. I needed a brain dump. Just some days I need a brain dump. Set up the trash can that the returnable bottles goes into, pay bills, deframe pictures, patch walls, final bathroom paint in the half bath downstairs, bleach the tub because my daughter cleaned it, but she can't use bleach because it gives her a headache, but we have some hard water staining going on, and put up a shower curtain because the little rungs ripped on my liner. I need to put up the new liner, so we're going to see what we do get done today. Before I did this, I went downstairs and I did empty my dishwasher and fill it. I'm just trying to get back to those habits. So let's go empty the dishwasher together. So first of all, I'm never going to get cute pajamas. Okay, maybe I will, but this is like my old Christmas t-shirt and my ugly sweats that I got at Target that are the most comfortable things on the planet. I just love them and I cannot wait to put them on at the end of the day. They're just the right amount of warmth. Also, I shared that to-do list with you because I really want you to see the difference between what I plan to do and what I do. I just kind of end up following my nose on this day because it's all well and good when you start out the day, and when you look at those like 5 a.m. videos of people that get up at 5 a.m. and they do all the things, they write themselves a to-do list, and the really assumption is you stick to your to-do list. Well, honestly, when I first wake up, I've got no clue what really lurks behind every door, every closet, every moment of the day. I just don't know how the day is going to go. So if you have a to-do list and you get nothing done on the list, make a to-do list. A to-do list is when you write down what you did do, and call the to-do list a brain dump. A brain dump is when you write a list of things that are not going to get done in a day. They're the list you don't want to forget, or it's just niggling in your brain and you need to get it out on paper because you're just so scared you're going to forget it, or I don't know, it's not going to have a priority in your life. But quite honestly, just because it's on a piece of paper doesn't give it a priority. So I completely changed what I ended up doing, and part of it was because when I actually came downstairs, I opened up the refrigerator and I realized I have got meat and different things that are going to spoil if I don't do something about it. And it's about 2 to 3 days later after filming this, I still have some things in that refrigerator that I need to deal with. And you can have so many plans in your day, but life has its own rhythm, and keeping things in balance, it's kind of like if you ever watch Survivor and they're having to keep a ball on the top of a pole or something balanced. Isn't that how life feels? Or keeping all the plates spinning. So I got down here and I was like, okay, I'm emptying and filling the dishwasher this morning because I honestly don't want to look at it. It's not that someone else can't do it. It's just it's going to be hours if I were to wait. And I really wanted to look at a nice clean kitchen. Also, I am honestly the best at cleaning my stainless steel, and it has gone on long enough because the most powerful thing you can do for stainless steel is to buff it out. And I am the queen buffer, and so I decided I was the one who was going to clean my appliances. And so now I'm just getting the counters wiped up. A lot of times there's little coffee spills. You can't see it on camera, but they're definitely here. Trust me. If you see me cleaning something, it's dirty because I do not clean surfaces. Do you clean surfaces? No, I do not. Absolutely do not clean surfaces. After I did the dishes, I came up here, took my shower, and then I went live on the membership side of my channel. And if you want any details about that, I'll leave the link in the first comment. Here I go live on my channel member side. Good morning. Okay, really hoping that it's going to work today to do the chats. Yesterday I was told the chat box did not come up, which made me so very sad. But I'm not Monique, good morning. This means the chat box is working. Okay, I tried. I checked there's a better, hey, hi Lori, hi Max, yay, we're here. Oh, yesterday was so sad. I don't want to do a live by myself. Hi Elizabeth. Oh my goodness, Jeanette. Good Lord, it is not a Monday anymore. Oh, Elizabeth, she's getting her makeup on too. So yes, and then I want to show you all the combing that happens in my hair. This is how I comb my hair. I'm loving this t-shirt here, and I know I always have this deal with my shoulders being too narrow, so my shirts look too big. But anyways, I was really struggling with it. I was wearing a different color, but the same shirt with Jabari yesterday because my shirt kept getting pulled down as I was feeding him his bottle. And he's moving all around. He's like a little alligator. He's just like, ah. We call him fisticuffs. Do you know that term, fisticuffs? It's like, because he's always like this for me. D-frame pictures, patch walls, final bathroom paint in the half bath downstairs, finish touching up paint. Get the anchor out of the wall. People told me how to get it out with a, putting a screw in and then pulling it out with I don't know what that thing is called. I need to bleach my upstairs tub. Yesterday, Rachel scrubbed the tub, but I can see we get water stains and it makes it look like dirt. But she can't use bleach because it gives her a migraine. So I need to come in behind her and do that. So my thinking with makeup is I use very high quality foundation, full coverage, because hello. And then I use an inexpensive blush. I use eyeshadow, quality eyeshadow. Like, now that the live is done, it's 9:35 and I really want to get my bedroom cleaned up. I might get myself another cup of coffee. That sounds really good too. And then we'll see what I'm in the mood for. Maybe I'll go into that bathroom, the upstairs bathroom, replace the shower curtain first. We'll see. We'll see. It's just one of those days where I just kind of feel like I'm just going to do what I can do, which is why I love a little brain dump, because then I can just pick things off of that brain dump and each day do a little bit more. Pardon my camera skills. I'm like not even paying attention. This is the state of my bed, and I haven't been making my bed lately. My reward after this is going to be a cup of coffee. So this is my clean laundry that needs to get put away. And I was folding last night in front of the TV while I babysit my grandson, which of course was fun. All right, I need to put these towels and face cloths in the hallway closet, so I'll be right back. The priority of the day was really to kind of get caught up. We've talked on the channel in the comments section about when you have a decluttering day, you really do need to put other things aside. And I have been successfully putting other things aside. And today I just felt like I need to do the basics. I just need to feel it done, to be able to look around the house and have it tidy, and to know that the food in the refrigerator isn't spoiling. So yes, can I get help from others in the house? Yes, I can. And yes, I do. But there's a lot to do to maintain a home in the yard and to keep all the things going and the groceries in the house. And, there's always a never-ending to-do list. So if you feel like there's a never-ending to-do list, you are not alone. I am right there with you. So it felt so good to just do the basics. There is my shower curtain liner that I'm going to be putting up here in a minute. It felt amazing to just take a day and do the basics and to just give myself permission that the stuff I had written at the beginning on that to-do list probably wasn't going to get done. I mean, I knocked a couple things off that list. Let's see. I do end up putting that shower curtain up, so that felt good because the old shower curtain was ripped. I have since thrown that list away. I was just about to look at it and let you know. But what really ended up happening, it was like getting the kitchen set up for the day, and that did get me kind of on a good pattern of doing that again. Getting my bed made, which here I got a new comforter and new throw pillows. So I did that so that I could see how pretty it was. So here you see me throwing that basket in the hallway. So what I do is if there's laundry that needs to be folded and put away, I'll do that. And then I like to have a basket like this one, or I have some others that are tall. They fold up. They are stored beside my washing machine so no one sees laundry baskets around the house. And I will put any dirty laundry, any dirty cups, anything that needs to be brought downstairs will go in that basket so that when when my bedroom is tidy, I can just grab that basket and head down the stairs and then distribute everything. And if there's anything that needs to come up the stairs, I'll do the same thing. Clean laundry or anything that needs to come up the stairs will go in a basket, and I'll just bring that basket upstairs. Look at me finally cutting the tag off the comforter. Let me tell you why I like to have the tag on the comforter. I did leave a little tiny sliver of it because then I can quickly know which way the comforter goes, because sometimes these are a rectangle, not a square. So if you don't do it correctly, then it's not going to fit and you have to start over and do it again. I wanted to answer one of the questions that I saw in the comment section. Somebody asked if I would be using a pod for our storage unit. I talked about getting a storage unit to loosen up the house so that when people look through the house, there's not a ton of furniture, just enough furniture for it to be staged. And I looked up pods. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong or if there's another company I could use, but it said $149 a month is the smallest pod. Well, the smaller units for storage units in my town is like $49 a month. and then it goes up from there. So I probably won't be doing the pod. I'm going to ask my son because I do think he did that. There's so many unknowns for us right now. I think I would be more confident if we didn't have a failed attempt at moving back in 2018. And so there's just a part of me that is a little bit nervous to spend too much money and then end up finding out that I'm not indeed moving. So I'm hoping a month from now we will be deep into the process of whatever it is that's happening. In fact, I really need to call my realtor, and I'm thinking about asking my husband to do it. I'm just really nervous to do it. I'm like facing fear, and I know that that's not of God. It's not what I should be focused on. And I know that my realtor isn't going to judge me, but I already had her come out once, like 2 years ago, and do a fair market assessment on the house. And so I felt guilty to call her and have her do it again. But she's such a great realtor. I really, really, really want it to be her. So there's the bedroom. It's looking so much better. It feels great. I'm not going to use these, so I can declutter these right away, because I have my own rings that I prefer because they have like a hanger on both sides. I'll show you. This goes in the trash. I love these ones that have the little hanger on both sides. It just makes it so much easier when you need to either replace the shower curtain or replace the liner. I was just noticing that has the little metal rings where the little holes go on the shower curtain, the rings, you know what I mean? And I bought that on Amazon, and I find that when I get them on Amazon, they tend to be more sturdy to have those rings. The one I'm taking off, I think I got it at Dollar General. It did not have the metal rings, and so it ripped that much easier and quicker. And it was a lot thinner. I always get ones that say mildew resistant, but you know, they're not going to last forever. I have hard water stains and different things. And so I like having the shower curtain, the fabric one, and then also having a liner, because then I can just replace an inexpensive liner with another inexpensive liner. I have tried washing shower curtains. I've done them in so many different ways, and I have just found that for me, I would prefer to just go out and buy a new shower curtain liner. So I have the fabric shower curtain that rarely ever needs to be washed because it's not touching, you know, other than if someone were to brush up against it, I guess, or dump something on it, which is why I really discourage the girls coloring their own hair. So there was my basket of stuff that was heading down the stairs. And then when I get down the bottom of the stairs, I empty it out and I put everything away. You can see I've got my emotional support cat right there, helping me every step of the way, making sure I stay on task. I also have headphones in my ears because I have been into listening to free audiobooks on YouTube lately, and I mention it in like every single video because I want you to know that that is free. My dining room table is an absolute disaster. It has been like that for like a week. It has gathered things. Either I'm not decluttering those baby bottles, but I had brought them up so Yvonne could pick out some to use. And then I'm going to bring them back down the stairs, and they need to be put in a Rubbermaid with a lid. I also had taken some decor off the wall, and that's what was in that bag. That needs to go down to the basement as well. And so I have been kind of putting decluttering projects on this table. I also have, you can kind of see at the bottom of the screen, the brown basket I just moved. That is full of papers that I was going to burn, but it just hasn't worked out. We've had so much rain, and the wood has been wet. I didn't want to buy wood, so I have not gotten outside to burn those papers. I decided enough is enough. I'm going to sit down on the couch and be a human shredder and just shred them myself. You can see my husband is hard at work. That is his little workstation. And sometimes the little chair for Jabari will be beside him, and Jabari will be beside him in the chair while he's working. It's so very cute. I wanted to show you my latest diamond project, my diamond art. This is my favorite so far because those aqua colors are my absolute favorite. The house is very busy. You can see my vacuum cleaners in the corner there. That is just for convenience. So when the house is for sale, those will be definitely heading down the stairs into the basement. Everybody's doing their own thing. My daughter was in the kitchen trying to save one of her plants that was unfortunately at death's door and didn't end up making it. So there's a ton of things going on. I hadn't gotten to wipe down that table because it has been full for so long. It'll be nice to be able to have dinners there. And then on top of the dryer is those nice little containers I bought, which I absolutely love, but behind it is paint and all the things I've been using in this room. So you can see how I just had projects going down all over the place. And so things were getting piled, and they were things that I needed to deal with. I really didn't want somebody else to deal with it because I was kind of picky about what was happening. I knew this needs to go to the basement. This needs to be shredded. I want this to stay here because I'm not done in the bathroom. And that is just what happens when you have projects going on in your house. And you're not alone. If you have, little things that you've started and not finished, and so you can't finish it right then, but you don't want to put stuff away because you know you're going to bring it right back out again. You should know you are definitely not alone. I'm right there with you. It always does me a world of good to keep laundry running if there is laundry. I don't like it to pile up at all. So these are the things I took off the dining room table. They went as far as the kitchen, and now I'm bringing things into the basement that need to go to the basement. And then I have this box of paper as well as picture frames that needed to be decluttered. So my original idea was I was going to bring the picture frames over here. I was going to take the pictures out of the frame and declutter the frames, keep the pictures. What ended up happening was they were held together by clips. This is like 8 times speed because this took me over an hour to just shred the papers. Oh, you can see Jabari on the couch. I didn't even realize that. Oh, he's such a little cutie. Anyways, I couldn't get those clips off the pictures, and I was saying to Yvonne, is anyone going to notice if I end up just getting rid of these? And she's like, of course not. And then I was looking through the box of the person the pictures belong to. I realized actually there were other copies of those pictures, so I didn't need to keep them. In the end, I decluttered the frames with the pictures in them because it was like 2 pieces of plastic held together by these metal clips, and I would have had to get maybe a screwdriver. I didn't even think of that to get those off. So now I'm going through the basket of papers that need to be shredded, and I'm not even showing you all of it here. I'm just kind of giving you the idea that it is happening. And I was looking through, some of it didn't need to be shredded. There were advertisements or applications that weren't filled out where we got more applications that we needed. And I am just shredding my little life away. And then it is going in a green trash bag with other trash. Then when we get to the dump, it goes into like this like huge dumpster thing, with everybody else's household trash, and it gets dealt with. So there's just literally no way anybody is going to get access to that unless they're going through everybody in town's trash. And then it's also shredded and put in a green trash bag. So that's what ended up happening to it. It didn't end up getting burned. I just decided to become a human shredder. So I'm chit-chatting with Yvonne, and I am mindlessly shredding, except for when I'm looking to see if something doesn't need to be shredded, because over time it does get a little exhausting to do all of that shredding. I even thought, well, maybe I'll have 2 trash bags going, and half the page would go in one bag, half the page would go in the other. But then when I thought about how the dump is set up, I realized, well, number 1, I'm really not that important. And number 2, I can't imagine anybody jumping in the dumpster, at the dump, because then a tractor thing is going to take it away, and going through literally every person in town's trash so they can find my trash, open it up, dig through the other trash to find my papers. Honestly, I don't even think I needed to shred it, but I did anyway because that is what you do. It felt so good to have that all shredded. It took so long that the wash I had put in before I started shredding is done, and I could switch it over to the dryer. That just gives you an idea on how long it took. So I think that's one of the reasons why we might procrastinate shredding documents. And I have other frames that need to be decluttered, and somebody said, no, you just need to do it. You don't want to move with that stuff. That's true. I just need to take a little break, mayhaps, to get, it's kind of like I'm trying to prioritize and be like, okay, this project needs to be done before I sell or before people look at the house, but this one could wait. So what you're going to see in an upcoming video is me just, okay, let's get this basement so people can walk through it, and then I'm going to go back and do some of these projects. So it's just crunch time, and I need to prioritize. Speaking of prioritize, when I was supposed to go to Vermont, I had bought this dough thinking my husband would be the one that was here. It was on sale. It was like $2 at my grocery store, and it has been in the refrigerator ever since. So I asked if anyone would be interested to have pizza, and I am getting that all rolled out. And then there's Yvonne with Jabari. She wanted you to see how big he's getting and how he's doing. So there he is, asleep on Mama's chest. He's such a cutie, I can't even tell you. So just getting a quick pizza made. Look, it's not even a circle. If you can see the pie crust, the pizza crust there, it's not a pie crust either. It is not even in a circle, but that is okay. Nobody minds what shape it is. It's not going to be what I'm having. I'm actually making myself a monster salad, which is what you're going to see. We had a lot of eggs in the house, and I wanted to get some boiled. I always do say pick an amount of time that you can declutter, set a timer, and do that. Today's decluttering project, I couldn't dig into anything new. And this is a big warning that I have learned the hard way, is deal with what you've already decluttered. Don't let it pile up. So it was beginning to pile up on my dining room table. I'm telling you, that basket of papers had been there at least a week. Best intentions. I was going to burn it. Weather wasn't cooperating. So I had to become the human shredder because I didn't want it to sit there another day. And it was like in the upper 90s and humid on this day. So there was no way I was going to sit outside and babysit a fire when it was that hot out. And so I just had to do it. And so I just want you to know that, if you make the decision to get rid of something, but it doesn't leave the house, what we're doing is just making another pile. And I say what we're doing is because I have done it. Also, upcoming, I need to make a list of foods I have and meals I can make, because I did not realize I had 3 packages of bacon. I just kept buying bacon. And so I did end up getting some cooked that we could use in salads or recipes. And I just told everybody, hey, if you want some bacon, here it is. I love to put boiled egg and bacon in my salads, and I crack myself up that I'm actually having eggs and bacon in a salad, but it tastes so good. It's like a Cobb salad, right? I don't love avocado in my salads. I love avocado and I love guacamole, but not necessarily in my salad. I rarely fry bacon anymore. I always bake it in the oven, 400 degrees, 15 to 20 minutes, depending on your oven. You can get away with 425, and it comes out perfect. It rarely ever burns, I will check it sometimes and just turn it around. You know how sometimes as your oven ages, it will become hotter in one spot than it is in another, so you might need to switch it. Also, did you know if you have a convection setting on your oven, that convection is the exact same as an air fryer. So you can declutter the air fryer and just use the convection oven in place of an air fryer. It does, I'm told, it does the same thing. So I put the bacon in the bottom. I have a double oven. Oh, what a game changer that is in life. Oh, and then I'm gonna bake up some tofu as well. So what a game changer it is to have a double oven, even though my family really isn't that big anymore. I mean, I have 7 children, but right now I just have 3 of my daughters living with us and 4 who have flown the coop and gone out into life. So I was going to do a stir fry with the tofu, and was deciding that we were also going to bake that. It's not what the recipe calls for, but then it's nice and crispy. So I'm using 2 blocks of tofu. Tofu is a pretty inexpensive protein, and I am lining it with paper towels. You could also use dish towels or something like that. I've done that too. And then I put parchment paper on top of the top towel and put cookbooks on it so it'll press the water out, and 5 or 10 minutes of that, and it's all nice and pressed out. And then I was going to put it in the oven once I have it all cubed up. So the pizza is out. It got eaten. I was just very happy. I got to use up some of the cheese. In fact, I didn't tell anybody because I have 2 daughters who are kind of picky about cheese. But by mistake, I had used Monterey Jack. So I had the Monterey Jack, and then I just put mozzarella on top of that. Nobody noticed. But if I would have said, hey, do you mind if I use Monterey Jack on this? I would have heard, no, I don't want Monterey Jack. So I'm boiling my eggs. I always boil the eggs for 10 minutes, and then I empty out the hot water and I put cold ice water and I let it cool down that way. My bacon is out. You can see it is absolutely perfect. So I pull out 3 pieces for me to put in my salad, and then I tell everybody else, all right, the bacon is out. And they could have put it on their pizza. Not quite sure what all happened. I do know it got eaten.
So there we are. I'm all ready for the day. My little man's crying. So, hey! Oh, it's okay. Guys, look at his little squish. Oh, you can't see it no more.
What's that?
I was trying to show them his little squishy face when he
Oh,
cries. Oh!
Current operator.
Guys, look at his little squishy face when he cried.
Hey! Hey!
Oh, he's not. Look! See? It's so cute. Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm getting out everything to make a salad. We just went to our local farmer's market for the first time, and so that was super exciting to just get fresh veggies again. So I cut up the bell pepper. I knew I wasn't going to use all of it in my salad, so I'm putting it in this container to use later in the stir fry that we did with the tofu. I didn't end up filming the stir fry. So if you're interested in an Asian stir fry that uses tofu, I think I have shown it before, but I could show it again if you would like to see it again. And one of the things that is in my salad that I love so much is radishes. Did you grow up eating radishes? I've seen some people roast radishes. I don't think I would really like that, but I do like just a few sliced up in my salad. I also like to have my lettuce cut up really small. I end up taking a few pieces out because farmer's market, it just wasn't as clean as I thought it was. I'm so used to getting things from the grocery store that is just so clean and sanitary. So now I'm cutting up some green onion, or if you call them scallions, also cutting that up with scissors. I like the whole scallion all the way down. The only thing I don't eat is the root, but a lot of people will just use the upper part and not the lower part, which makes no sense to me because the lower part is more like an onion. And then I had some fresh cucumber also from farmer's market, getting that cut up and in there. This was like the best salad on the absolute planet. I have been trying so hard to get back to my healthy weight. It is just the hardest thing, you guys. Oh my word. And it just feels like a forever thing. So I'm using the foods in my program. I've been on Optivia, but I've just been having such a hard time that I'm trying to be more focused on calories than even being in fat burn, and just keep an eye on what I am eating each day. And I'm just seeing if that can work for me, because there's just so many life circumstances. And I used to go sit with my family when they would go out to eat or get an ice cream, and I wouldn't even, put one bite in my mouth, and I'm just not there right now. So I am just trying to watch calories and be sensible, and we'll see how that goes. And if that doesn't go well, then maybe I will get my mojo back again. Oh my goodness. But I love having an egg slicer because it's just so nice. I'll slice it one way, turn it, slice it the other way. And Rachel came in and helped me with the tofu. She is the tofu whisperer. So she's kind of shown me how she likes to cut it up and how it can go quicker and what size she normally does. And then you want to make sure it's spread out good on the pan. If you have the pieces too close together on the baking sheet, then it kind of steams and it doesn't get crispy. But we really wanted it to be crispy this day. I never thought I would like tofu. I didn't used to like it, but once you start eating it, I'm telling you, I crave it now. I don't even understand why I crave it, but I really, really crave it. So we put it in at 400 degrees, just like the bacon, but 45 minutes. And after 20 minutes, we flipped it. And I did spray it with a little bit of avocado oil. We like avocado oil because it doesn't have a strong flavor and it has a high smoke point. There is other oils that have a higher smoke point, but this one has a pretty high smoke point. And I'm putting it again in the convection oven, and this is what it looked like coming out. I hope I was able to encourage you today. Remember, as always, God loves you, I love you too, and I can't wait to see you next time.